Hello and welcome to another World Turtle Day. Last year about this time I looked at Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. So I thought this year I'd look at its sequel, Gamera, Advent of Legion. So I'm sure the question that came to the mind of the producers was, what Gamera monster should he fight this time? What member of his rogues gallery should they resurrect? Should it be Virus? Should it be Gyron? Should it be Rainbow Bright Baragon? Fortunately, the producers decided to go in another direction.
And he asked unto him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for I am the one of the many.
The Bible.
Mark 9, verse 8.
Coming out just a year after Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, Gamera, Advent of Legion starts with Earth being subjected to a meteor shower. Only this isn't any normal shower, as one object lands close to Sapporo. It is Legion, a giant monster with a twist in that she is also a hive for a host of young. Legion travels between worlds by building a giant cocoon with a big old oxygen bomb and planet at its base that launches it into space. Unfortunately for the Japanese, Legion's broods eat silicon, and the best place to find the stuff refined is in the middle of cities, where, people live and keep their stuff. It is up to Gamera to fight Legion and its, Legion. Unfortunately for the big guy, it isn't exactly equipped to deal with thousands of man-sized insects who want to see what turtle tastes like. Can Gamera and mankind set aside their differences long enough to take Legion down? Gamera's 1 and 2 feel very much like modern superhero movies in that the first one was an origin story, and the second is a film that can focus more on the action now that the preliminaries are out of the way. And much like The Dark Knight and Captain America: Winter Soldier, Legion is a superior film to the first. And for someone like me who truly enjoyed the first movie, that's saying something. The film does play upon some familiar Gamera tropes. Gamera films are considerably bloodier than your standard kaiju movie, and in this case I'm not just talking about the big guy bleeding. Early on, we see a subway driver get thoroughly taken apart in a scene that would have been at home in a slasher flick. I won't deny that elements of this movie liberally borrow from Aliens and Predator, but I don't think that necessarily detracts from the film as a whole. And in the second act, we see the second familiar Gamera trope, where the big guy gets seriously hurt, only to stage a triumphant third act return. But thankfully, like they had done with the first Gamera film, there is no third Gamera trope, the annoying children cluttering things up. When watching a movie about guys in rubber suits fighting among models, the last thing anyone really expects is any attempt to inject real science into the mix. But Gamera vs. Legion does attempt to introduce some real-world concepts, such as the potentially destructive nature of species migration. This time out, the environmental message isn't quite so heavy-handed as it had been in Guardian of the Universe. The message feels like part of the plot, rather than a tacked-on afterthought. As for the human cast, they're just there. Don't get me wrong, the performances are fine, but you really don't come to a kaiju movie to see the humans. I think that if they're not annoying, then you're coming out ahead. In this case, the principal characters are fine for the roles they play. I am especially glad this time out the humans were portrayed as Gamera's allies rather than antagonists. While the jerk-faced government official Mr. Saito was a necessary foil in the first film, that doesn't mean I wanted to see him return. The movie ends with a potentially menacing note, suggesting that things might take a turn for the worse in the next Gamera film.
After all, he is the guardian of the universe.
So does that mean that if we keep destroying life on this planet, he would...
Gamera wouldn't like that. It would only make him mad.
Clocking in an hour and 40 minutes, Gamera, Advent of Legion is a tight film that doesn't feel as if a moment is wasted. It's obvious that everyone associated with this project came to it with a lot of dedication in their hearts. Advent of Legion is just a great film, and I can't recommend it and Guardian of the Universe strongly enough. Join me next year around this time when I take a look at the third of the Gamera trilogy, Gamera vs. Iris.